I just realised then I was muted, so we'll start that again. Welcome to Bringing the Blues. We've got a derby special today, derby preview. Obviously, we'll talk about the news about Kev as well. Obviously, announcing that he's obviously leaving City at the end of the season. So I'll hand over to RyJack97. What we like to do on this channel, mate, is just to give you an opportunity to talk a little bit about yourself, when you started following the club, and your favourite player, who your favourite player is.
Ooh, man. Being in America, I would say growing up, I had no sort of exposure to European football at all. I was a big basketball, American football family. And probably 2014 World Cup is when I got into it. I watched USA have a good run, and then we ran into Belgium. And Kevin De Bruyne ended up scoring the winning goal against us. And I mean, I was pretty hooked from there and thought, man, I got to follow this. I need a club. And MLS obviously is not a premier club, Premier League or anything. So pretty quickly, I realized the Premier League was what was on TV here, and it was something that I could follow. And then this guy from Belgium, Kevin De Bruyne, signed for Man City, and I thought, that's my team. I'm going to go with them. Uh, and that was 11 years ago or so, and now it's a central part of my life where all I care about is how Man City do, and KDB is honestly like the reason for that. So seeing the news, very emotional, of course.
Yeah. Who? Who would you say? Yeah, we've had a lot of players like that, I think. Well, I mean, we'll start with the news, the Kev news, obviously with him leaving. Where were you guys when you heard the news? Yeah, yeah, it was a rough one.
Similar for me. I'm on the East Coast of the U.S., so I'm 5 hours behind, and I woke up basically 7 o'clock. News broke maybe an hour or so before that, so I had a phone full of notifications from Twitter and text messages, and had to just move right past the shower in the morning.
Yeah, it was a rough one, wasn't it? It was yeah, I wasn't expecting it, but I think he obviously wanted to get it out before it was leaked. We know what these guys are like. Fabrizio Romano, I bet he was gutted that he didn't get that exclusive. I think someone at the club obviously will let him down. I know, yeah, yeah. Which is great. I mean, fantastic in that sense, but awful, absolutely awful for us. Um, but no, I mean, I was lucky enough to see players like Kev, and prior to Kev, it was David Silva and Yaya and company, and so I like to think I've kind of been through this, that if that makes sense. I mean, David Silva for me was always my favourite player, and when he left, I was absolutely devastated. But this is football, not everyone they can't last forever. Um, but I mean, do you think he's going to stay to the Club World Cup? Because I think apparently his contract is expiring prior to that, so I don't know how that's going to work. Whether they're going to keep him on like I don't know, some sort of agreement, or if he's just going to go to Saudi or America. Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if he would want to play in it. Just I don't know if the prestige is there, obviously, for the trophy, but maybe in 20 years it will be, and his lasting memory could be lifting the Club World Cup as captain. I mean, maybe that's something he cares about. Um, but at the other side of it, he could lift the FA Cup, and that could be how he walks away. So that would be kind of romantic, I guess, and that's his final moment for us, lifting something that's obviously more meaningful than the Club World Cup is for now.
Yeah, I mean, I think.
Yeah, I think I saw something this morning that he wanted to.
I think. I mean, the type of player that Kev is, you would. I mean, I would think he'd want to try and add that. Get that competition under him. He's already got pretty much everything else. I mean, it'd be nice for us to get the FA Cup as well, obviously. But I think they might be able to work something out with him. I think he's got all the power. If he's going to Saudi or America, they'll move mountains at the end of the day. If he turns around and says, "Look, I'll sign, but I want to do the Club World Cup, then I'll come." I don't think there's many clubs that will say, "Well, we're not signing you." Them. I think for a lot of these clubs like Miami, the team in Miami, the guys in Saudi, Al Nassr. It's all about the profile of the player, isn't it? Really, rather than just trying to improve league position. So that'll be interesting. For you guys, where would he rank for you guys in terms of, I suppose, City's greatest ever player, and I suppose the Prem's greatest ever player?
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
agree. I only go back about 10, 11 years, like I said. So in that period, he's the best ever for me. And in the Premier League, he's the best in the last 10 years for me. Hard to say going anything past that exactly, because it's just, I hear what people say about the legends of the early 2000s and the 90s and whatnot. But I mean, if you look at the stats, he's second all
Yeah.
time in assists. And I mean, he would be first if he played 20 years here. He'd be first. So,
yeah.
you know, the numbers don't lie.
So
The
he'd be
guy
first if
is
we had competent people.
that's
If
true.
he'd been playing with Holland instead of Jesus and Sterling, like that's gonna haunt me forever. Is the fact that how many chances those guys muffed up for him. Like, come
Well,
on.
he
Yeah.
was. They ruled out. They ruled a couple out incorrectly. I think they gave it to other players when they shouldn't have done. So he should have got that record anyway. To be honest with you,
Mhm.
You should have, yeah.
yeah.
That was complete crap that he didn't.
I think for me, um, it's difficult because it is just me being a little bit biased. Because again, when I grew up watching City, the best team that we ever had was obviously the David Silva, Aguero company. But I'd never seen a player like David Silva ever play for someone like Man City. Prior to that, we had players like you know um, Sylvain Distin, Gelson Fernandez, Darius Vassell. And no disrespect to any of those guys, top players in their own regard, but the last player that I can think of prior to someone like Silva and like a De Bruyne was Georgie Kinkladze, and I was too young. I never saw him play, so it's difficult. It's hard for me, but I think going off what they've won, you probably have to put Kev there. In terms of technical ability, I think you're just splitting hairs when it comes to those two. But he's getting a statue. Apparently, that's been announced that he's going to get a statue. Well, it's been leaked by Jack Gowen that he's going to be getting a statue. And there's been a lot of speculation about the pose. Which pose would you go for the statue?
I mean, I like the one.
Somebody had a really funny suggestion of him pushing Arteta. That'd
be good.
I saw that on Twitter. I was like, that's good.
Yeah.
I would do is him tying his shoes. The Billy game.
Yeah, a lot of people going
that one, or the Real Madrid one.
Yeah, the Madrid one. Yeah. I love the one with the Champions League on his head. I love that one. That's the one I put forward. Because it was just, do you know what? He was one player. I mean, we had several players prior, like, you know, Vincent Kompany, Aguero, Silva, that all should have won Champions Leagues. That unfortunately didn't. But if he'd have left the club without Champions League, that would have been absolutely criminal.
Tragic.
And then you know what?
I'm so happy we got that for him.
Yeah. So,
I don't know how they do statues exactly at the Etihad, but I feel like there needs to be a plaque with the Jurgen Klopp quote when he warms up. The whole country shakes.
The training ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah,
they'll do it the same. They've done.
Run out of stats.
Companies and Silvers and Agueros. It'll be this. I assume it'll be the same eyes.
Like that thing.
Otherwise, it'll just look. Well, it won't be. It won't be consistent with the other statues. But no, yeah, I'd agree. Get that plaque there with that on. I think that'd be quality. Where do you think he ranks in terms of Prem all-time players?
It's either him or Henry, for me.
Him or Henry.
Because he just did so much from the midfield. Like, I appreciate what Salah has done, but I'm not comparing a winger and a midfielder. I'm just not.
Yeah.
So I think Salah as a winger is just, it's really impressive, but he's a winger, so I think he has, like, I expect those kind of numbers.
Yeah.
I think if you do an all-time...
The magic that Kev did for so long, I have to rate that higher than what Salah has done from the wing.
Yeah, I agree. And he's got 6 Prems. Like, that just immediately... I think if you do an all-time 11, he's one of the first names you put in there. Yeah. You know, if he's first, second, third, fifth, whatever, you're splitting hairs. They're all great, but
he's done Centurions, treble, domestic quad.
Yeah,
like those are incredible achievements, and I think that has to be a factor as well. Like Salah's won 2 Prems this season, and then he's won like one of everything else, maybe like a couple of extra like FA Cups and Carabao. Like, I'm not comparing that at all. I don't know I didn't watch a lot of Henry, so I don't know. I know that he's won a couple of titles, but
I think if you
footy was not on very much in the United States during those years.
If you look at the leagues that Salah's
like, we can watch every game now, but
if you look at the leagues that Salah's won, I mean, they won the COVID League, which was just, I mean, everybody wanted to forget about that season except from Liverpool fans, obviously. But funnily enough, I remember that season because we battered them at home. I think it was the 4-1 game. We absolutely smoked them. No, it was we battered them at Anfield, sorry. And apparently it didn't count because obviously it was the COVID season. There were no fans there. But obviously them winning the league title, that counted. It was just that particular game that didn't seem to count. So that's interesting. But I mean, this season as well, a lot of people are saying it's probably the worst season in terms of quality. It's probably since the COVID season, maybe even. I think this season's been even worse than that one, to be honest. So if you look at the trophies he's won, the impact that he's had, he doesn't tend to show up in the finals. You know, I don't think you can put Salah anywhere near Kev, or even a player like Aguero, or some of the other players that we've had, for example. I would put him
also.
Go on.
Yeah, a lot of people rated Mane higher than Salah too.
Yeah.
During like that stretch run where they were like, "Oh yes, West Ham, come on, West Ham." Sorry, we need West Ham to help us out by getting a result against Bournemouth.
Mane was one of those players for me that he was just one of those. He was the one player from Liverpool I would have taken out of that team and put into City, because I think he would have been incredible. And I hated playing him, but what a player. Sometimes you have to hold your hands up, don't you? And say, hey, what a player. Even if they really play for your rivals. So moving on, we'll talk about the obviously the derby, big massive game tomorrow. First of all, how are you both feeling going into that game? Obviously we've come off the back of a couple of pretty big wins, I'd say. Obviously United have just come off the back of getting beat by Nottingham, so we are the informed team going into it. But should we feel confident? Should we feel like the informed team?
I am not very confident. I know I should be, but there's just so many factors. Like, we've had so many bozo moments in big games. We've Amarim seems to have Pep's number. He's beat him twice this season. I know that game of the Etihad just really soured me. Like, I still think that's our worst loss of the season by a long shot, because of those bozo mistakes, and those could come out at any time. And I know Amarim has them playing a little bit better than he did. Like, he's gotten production out of like Casemiro and Maguire, who people have just been ragging on nonstop, for a long time. So, and it's a derby, we all know anything can happen. Form goes out the window in a derby. So I'm nervous. I'm calling it a draw, but my opinion is slightly changing. I do think this KDB news could kind of galvanize our team and give us like that thing we need, that thing we're trying to, we're doing it for Kev. We're doing it for Kev. So I'm hoping this kind of brings out the siege mentality and sets us on a win streak, but I still just can't help but feel nervous about tomorrow. But I'm nervous about every game. So that's just me. I'm just a nervous fan.
Rye, what about yourself?
Yeah, I feel a little bit more confident than usual, actually. Probably because of the Kev news. I can't see how it wouldn't galvanize the group. I mean, it's a derby. I know United are in whatever, they're in 13th, 14th position, but form kind of goes out the window when it's a derby game. It's City United. It's going to be, regardless of where we are in the table, one of the biggest games of the season for both clubs, for the fans. And I mean, I'm not of the group that we play better without Holland, but I felt like it was all right with Marmoush. He obviously gets a little more involved.
So glad we have him.
I mean, he does give me a lot of confidence. And the Leicester game was so like second gear, third gear, nothing, that I mean, it was basically a training session in the second half. It was rather dull watch, which is fine. I'm happy with the points, but I don't know. I feel good about where they should be mentally, I would think. I mean, they understand this is an important game. It's way more important to us, table-wise. I mean, we got to lock down.
We got to win this game.
Yeah, so it's a huge step in the right direction, and it's Kev's last derby, so we got to do what we got to do.
I was speaking to a United fan the other day. I was giving him a bit of shit for the Nottingham game, but then even I said to be honest with you, the Premier League now it doesn't. I mean, they're not going to get relegated. At this point, there's not enough games and they'll be fine. But the only hope of them getting into Champions League is the Europa League. So it doesn't, other than pride for them, it doesn't really mean anything to win this game. Whereas for us, we have to. Tomorrow is a must win. Every derby's a must win anyway, regardless. But I think the fact that we've actually got something to play for, other than just we want to win the derby for the fans and the form and everything. So they've got nothing they've got nothing outside of just not wanting to lose tomorrow. So we've got that bit. We've got obviously the news about Kev. I think that was tactical as well. I think he wanted that reaction. I think he wanted the fans to, because there's been a lot of stuff around the fans at the moment with the protests and everything. I think he just wanted to make sure, okay, we need the fans on side here tomorrow. So I think it was definitely intentional that it was dropped when it was dropped, so out of the blue, rather than, waiting towards the end of the season. My only thing is, I mean, they don't score. They've got no goal scorers really in that team aside from Bruno Fernandes. Hoyland can't score. He's absolutely pants. So as long as we keep Bruno quiet, I struggle to see how they score other than just us being calamitous and making a mistake.
Yeah, it's just we did that in the last derby, so I just get nervous. But because it also just brings up the fact that like what's he gonna do at right back? Like I think because Nunes was the one who screwed up the last derby. Like I hate to rag on the guy, but we basically lost because of him just melting down at the end. So I kind of wonder if that gets him benched for the game. But he has looked good, and he looked good against Bournemouth and against Leicester. So maybe Pep will forgive him. I'm not sure. It'll be interesting. And I don't know if he trusts Nico O'Reilly to play left back. It is a big game. So I think it's going to come out for the lineup. I personally would love to see Nico. I really want to keep Joshko and Ruben next to each other because they look incredible together.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is what we thought we were getting when we signed Joshko. And then it's taken like almost 2 years to get to that. So I really want to see that keep going because I think they make each other like better. Like I think Diaz always makes whoever he's next to better, but like sometimes he needs somebody to make him also stay on track. And they just complement each other so well. And that left right, Joshko lefty, Ruben righty, like that just works really well. And then I'd love to see Husanov play as a fullback. I mean, it's a good like patchwork scenario for the rest of the season. But I know ultimately he won't be there long term. But I just want to. I really want to keep that center back partnership together because I think we've been missing that all season, and that's one reason our defense has been such a mess. It's because there's no chemistry. So it's like let's keep it going 3 games in a row. Let's go.
Yeah. No, I think I think you've basically just put the line up. Well, the defense together. I mean it's Pep, so it's impossible to know what's going on. I think we'll see Nico again at left back because he's the in-form player. But it wouldn't shock me, if we saw. I mean, Gvardiol's obviously solid there. He's played there all season. Do you put Kushinov inside instead of Gvardiol? We just don't know what's going through his mind. For me, it would be Nico at left back, and then obviously that centre half pairing of Diaz, Kushinov, and then is Rico fit? I've not heard anybody mention Rico. I don't know. Nobody rates Rico, but I've not heard anybody talk about Rico. I think this is the sort of game where Pep would bring him in, to be honest with you, because he trusts him so much.
Yeah, I could see that happening.
Yeah.
I just don't rate Rico as a right back.
Forever. Yeah. I can't remember the last time he got a run of minutes. Yeah.
Oh, Jared Bowen again.
Big up the panel. Hope we're all feeling good. Big game tomorrow. Big up to yourself, Luke.
Big up, Luke.
Yeah. Well, I think we're feeling okay. Obviously, a little bit nervous. I feel a lot worse tomorrow. I always do. I feel okay now, but in the build-up to the game, it'll be awful. I think the fact we're at their ground as well. But sometimes I think that can work. That can work against you because, to be honest with you, the form that we've been in, they want to get the double over us. I think there is a lot of obviously pressure on them as well to not get beat tomorrow because if they get beat tomorrow and they carry on that in that form into the Europa League games, and they're going to be in a lot of trouble. So they should feel some pressure as well. It shouldn't all sit on our shoulders anyway. So we want Nico at left back. I think we're all agreed there. Who starts in midfield?
I think Nico Gonzalez has to start in midfield. I don't know why he didn't against Bournemouth.
Yeah.
I think he should be playing our 6 every single game because we've seen how much better we look with him there. I know he's not fixing everything, but he is helping that situation quite a bit. And when he plays as a 6, we don't get cut through quite as easily the entire game. I mean, there's obviously going to be moments because it's a game. It happens. But before, it was just wide open. It was a wide open bandit country, and people were just waltzing through there like there was nothing there. And so he provides some deterrent. So I think he should be starting this game for sure.
Yeah.
And I would expect also Kava and probably KDB since they didn't play on the Leicester game. I
do want to give a shout out to Gundogan. Gundogan has been pretty good over the last maybe month or so. Obviously he's still extremely slow and not athletic, but I mean, he's been He's been good. There's been a significant improvement, at least since the first half of the season in January over the last month for him. So if he plays, I wouldn't be surprised.
It's Nico.
Yeah, I'd go.
I don't think he would
Yeah,
play 3 games in a row though.
probably not 3 in a row.
And I've been
but
saying this for a while. Out of all the unks, he's looked the best.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
I don't know who turned the coin unks, but I love it. Call them the old guard. Or the old guys, and I got ripped on it for that.
Called out bad. Credit's due. He has been playing really well recently. I think you've got to have young legs around him, otherwise it doesn't work. You cannot play with Kovacic. That can't happen.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work. It's so slow and
Bernardo too. It's just the 3 of them together. So.
It's awful.
Yeah, Bernardo's probably going to play too since he was rested, and Pep just can't get away from him in the big games.
Yeah. We'll see that.
Also, this is what Gundogan was doing last season in Barcelona, because he had all those young. He had like Gavi and Pedri. Well, no, not Gavi, because Gavi was out. He had Pedri. He had Frankie De Jong, and I'm forgetting the other guy. But he had all these young legs around him in Barcelona, so he was able to like be creative. He didn't have to play a 6, and he's better as like an 8 or even shadowing as a 10.
Yeah.
So this is what he was doing last season. That's why he made team of the season in La Liga. So he this is exactly what we needed. Like, it didn't work with the old legs, but he could still be a good player with younger legs around him. Yeah, and I think that's what we're banking on this season. Like, him and Rodri would have cooked this season, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
And we wouldn't have to see him as a 6, where he was clearly not good enough. But he's doing great as an 8. Like, he's offering so much creativity, and he's starting to crash the box a little bit now too.
I would be.
Like, that's what we've been missing.
I would honestly. I'd have Nico in there and just man-mark the life out of Bruno, man-mark the life out of him. That would be my call. I think if you stifle Bruno, they will. It's very, very unlikely that they'll score. He creates everything in that team, and scores most of the goals as well. So I would 100% have Nico in there as well. You need a lot of creativity. I think obviously there's no way Kev doesn't start tomorrow either. By the way, Kev will definitely start tomorrow after that news dropped, 100%. So you've got your creativity there as well. Obviously, so we got Nico, Kevin there. Does Foden play? Bernardo, is he gonna play? It's a tough one. How do you leave Foden out of the team? That's why I always struggle with it at the minute.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You could, I guess, in theory, if Rico Lewis is starting the right back and he wants to kind of invert him forward, you could have Kevin Foden, and then behind them is Nico and Rico. You could. I don't know if we like Foden more on the wing. But I personally prefer him probably midfield.
Yeah, I do.
I just don't know how you fit both of him and Kev in the midfield, really.
Yeah, well, it depends on the formation you play, doesn't it? Really.
Yeah.
It's a tough one. Yeah, I just feel like we're always trying to crowbar Foden into this team at the minute, which is unfortunate. He's obviously not. He's not taken that midfielder on and made it his own. He's still getting pushed out onto the wing, which he's just useless on. And I think he hates playing there as well, to be honest with you, for club and country. But I think Kev has to start because of the news. That's where your main creativity is going to come from there. But I would love to see Foden back in the centre of the pitch, back in the midfield, because I do believe he's still our most creative player outside of De Bruyne.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I kind of have a feeling Foden might be pushed out on the wing, though.
If you could
maybe the right wing, because I feel like this is a game for Doku.
Yeah, it's screaming for this. It's screaming for a big Doku performance.
Yeah, because they're gonna low block, so I'd put Doku in there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think.
And also, I've noticed when Kev plays as a 10, he has been kind of pushed out. He has been touching the wing a lot. So even though on paper it might be Kev as the 10, like I feel like Foden will drift in there quite a bit, and Kev will be the one who gets pushed out. Like, because we have seen it in many games this season.
No, I know it's Yeah, it's difficult at the minute. I still don't know what our starting 11 is. Our best starting 11, because on paper that you have to have Foden in the team, but he's just not. He's just not there this season. He's just not there at all. For me, he's wasted on the wing. I would just always rather have Doku or Savio. I'd even have Bernardo. I don't like Bernardo on the wing either, but I'd probably still rather have Bernardo on the wing over a Foden. Obviously, Marmoush will play up front.
That's who we're shoehorning it.
Well, that's what we did. Well, this is the problem, isn't it?
Is there an Oscar Bob shout?
Oh,
I would sacrifice Kava, man. Have the double pivot kind of in the back, or the back. Have Bernardo play like as an 8 next to Nico, and then send it with 2 10s. Try that. That'd be kind of fun.
It'd be great. It'd be good if we could.
Because Kava has actually been kind of out of the team for a while, so maybe he would be out of this one as well.
Yeah.
And then do like, so what would that be, 4? Yeah, kind of do a 4-4-2, but which Pep never does. But and then have like Doku and Marmoush up top or something, like, I don't know. Or maybe Doku kind of comes back a tiny bit, because sometimes sometimes he tucks in.
Yeah.
And I guess you could do that if Nico Riley's playing. Nico would go forward and then have Foden just go up behind Marmoush, where he's best anyway.
I would have Foden behind Marmoush.
Best behind striker.
I'd have him.
With Doku, you had him and Grealish kind of flip-flopping throughout a bit. I mean, Grealish is a shout as well, who we haven't
There are
mentioned.
too many options right now.
I mean, guys,
too many options.
Me, I'm starting Bob.
Team.
Oscar Bob.
Where?
Right
on
winger.
The right?
He's our best winger, guys.
I wish.
Do you think he'll start him?
Well, then Foden, Bernardo, and Kava. Somebody has to come out, and
it's got to be Kava.
Pep is not going to bench Bernardo. We all know this. Pep will not bench
know
Bernardo
it's not happening, but I might be the biggest Oscar Bob stan on Twitter.
Oscar Bob is fantastic.
That guy is mega.
Yeah,
he'll come off the bench for a few games before he might get a start. Like, I could see him starting like the Wolves game or something, but Pep is going to be very gentle with him and ease him back in, because he already had one injury setback, and he probably doesn't want. He wants to make sure he doesn't get another.
Well, don't be surprised if he comes on and scores tomorrow. That's all I'll say. I've got a really good feeling he's going to come on and make something happen. Kev as well. I think Kev is chomping at the bit for this. I think we could see a vintage Kev from here on out, to be honest with you. With the shackles off a little bit more, because what if we've got to lose? He's leaving anyway. Who cares if he gets injured at the end of the season? He won't be our player.
We're going to be hearing on TV, well, at least for Ryan and I, we're going to be hearing, Kevin De Bruyne the entire game. I can already tell. I can tell our away fans are going to be.
Oh, there's going to be, yeah. I think I watched Big Steve's stream video yesterday on the preview, and I think he said apparently City have stopped national flags coming in now, so they're going to try and get a load of Belgian flags in for him, which would be nice. But yeah, you'll see there'll be loads of stuff for him. It'd be nice if the club and the club had something there for him as well. Uzbekistan, yeah, they'd be everywhere, wouldn't they?
That was back flag.
What was the Arsenal score? Do we know? Oh, honestly, those. Yeah. Or the football. He blamed the football as well, didn't he? This that was a nice change of pace.
Yeah.
So let's. I'll tell you what. Let's see if I can bring up the. I'm gonna see if I can bring up a lineup builder, and we'll try and we'll try and make one in there. We'll see if we can crowbar. Yeah, this is where it gets tougher.
Oh God!
This is where it gets hard to pick, because I feel like we're gonna try and. I mean, I've been trying to crowbar Foden in this team all season, but it's getting harder now.
I think I'm honestly not opposed. I've said this for a while. I think we should just let Foden be away from the team to get healthy. Like I would just bench him the rest of the season and send him home, go to the lake, go fishing, clear your head, get back to being Foden and be ready in September or August. I would like to see that, but with Haaland injured, we clearly won't. But I think he could really benefit from that. Have him take the Club World Cup off and just get back to being Foden. Like the stress from the media and stuff. Rodri should have a conversation with Foden and tell him to deactivate all his social media for a while. That would probably help him a lot.
Yeah, I think the social media stuff isn't helping, and I know from what came out that he does read that he does read that stuff.
Which who was it? Someone said they literally will check social media right when the game ends.
Yeah, I just always
encouraging though. Apparently Yoshiko hates social media. So I'm like, ooh, you can deactivate? Come on, man. Rodri influence. Come on, man. Rodri. Start telling your teammates to spread the word. Social media is bad. Well, for professional athletes. I'm clearly always on social media, but I just ignore people. So there's a mute button. It's a wonderful thing. I'm sure there's been some hot takes about De Bruyne from the usual suspects, but I have them all muted, so I don't know what they said. And I will not be engaging because that's what they want.
It's tough, man. It's really hard because there's players that a lot of players are fortunate because we had players like Oscar Bob who got that obviously season-long injury. Obviously, Rodri's been out all season, so you've got to think there are certain players who would have even had less impact, less game time, this season. I think Savio and Doku are very fortunate that Oscar Bob got that injury as well because, again, there's been a lot of question marks around there. I'm a big Doku fan. I am, but there are questions around his finishing. And the one thing that we know from Bob is he doesn't have that issue. The games that he was playing and starting, he was scoring massive goals. Obviously the massive one, the huge one against Newcastle. To do that at his age is absolutely incredible.
Off the bench too.
Oh.
Yeah. Like late in the game off the bench, like that's difficult. He had that I remember Bob, he had a really good game against Crystal Palace at Selhurst last year. Him and Rico were just like they had such a good game on the right. Even though I think De Bruyne was the one who stole the show, but I just remember those two like just absolutely slaying at that game.
Yeah, because it was that was the game Kev came back, wasn't it?
Yeah, he'd come back from something. It was one of the Spanish broadcasters were doing the Kevin De Bruyne song.
Yeah.
Kevin De Bruyne. I'm like, get that guy to the Etihad for one of Kev's last games. We need them in the South Stand. It's starting some Kevin De Bruyne songs.
I'm trying to. I will get this up. I will get this line up on the screen 100%. Whilst I do it though, who would you say are the big ones to watch from the United squad? I mean, obviously Bruno's probably the big fish there, isn't he?
Bruno, yeah. I know Garnacho's crap, but he seems to show up again. Like he scored in the FA Cup final, so I always look out for him. And I think he scored in the Community. Was it him? He might have scored in the Community Shield. I don't remember, but I feel like even though he's like not a very good player, I feel like he just turns up. And that's why I hope we play Kusanov because he does have pace on the left. So it'd be nice to counter that with some pace on the right. But like you said, he'll probably start Rico, and Rico if Rico starts, I think Garnacho would be very happy with that. And he would think he has a chance because I don't think Rico can. I just don't trust him defensively.
Aside from Bruno,
he's great when he's going forward. And like I do think he adds value to our team, especially in the midfield. But yeah, I just don't defensively. He's not good.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at their lineup, there are not many players that would frighten any of like the top half teams. I mean, you got
This is Bruno.
Dallo is like kind of all right. I mean, this Dorgu guy might be something, but Xerxes and Hoyland, Garnacho, like you mentioned, none of them really get in any of the top 6 teams. They have a severe lack of actual talent in the team, which is crazy to say, but they just don't have very good players at the moment.
McGuire oddly has been like stepping up on set pieces. He's been like getting some late goals, like late headers. So there's set pieces we might need to be a little careful on, because also we're not very good at defending those, especially corners. So that's why it would be nice to have Husanov and Nico Riley back there, because that would just add more height for those set piece defense. So although we did see Husanov make a mistake on that set piece from Brighton. I think it was a set piece from Brighton. So I don't think it was his fault, but it's still
the own goal
off of him. So always something to be aware of. And the media love to remind us about the 2 mistakes that Husanov has made since he joined us.
It's like those are the only.
Literally the only 2 he's made. Everything else has been great, but that's all they want to talk about. I'm like, okay. Way to shatter a young player's confidence, you jerks.
As good as Marmouche has been, I would say Kusanov's probably been better.
Agreed. There's been some games where Marmouche, I'm just like, this is not good enough. I mean, he's picking it up more, but like those first couple of games, the ones before the Newcastle game, and then like a couple after, he wasn't that good. But
the stats are nice because he has 5 goals or whatever, but it's only actually 3 games he scored in.
Yeah. Like he didn't look good at all against Leyton Orient. I mean, against a low block, he looked like a headless chicken in that game. That was his first game playing as a striker, so I get it. And it was only like his 2nd or 3rd game, so I get it. But he did not look that good. But I love his swagger. Like he just has a confidence that I think a lot of the team is lacking this season. Like the goal he scored in. Some of the shots he was taking against Bournemouth, I know he only scored once, but there was a couple like that he missed that I think the keeper made a really good save on or something, or he just skied over the bar. But I was like, nobody else is actually on our team is actually taking that kind of a shot. They're just, they would just get scared and pass it backwards or something. And I just love that he's going for it, even if he's not making it. Like, I'm hoping that would spread to other players. Like, I just feel like he has so much confidence, and like you can tell he really trusts himself to like take some of these more riskier shots. And I just think our team has been lacking that. So that's been a big welcome sign for that to come into our team.
Yeah. He's got that aggression, that, full confidence mode.
Yeah.
Sort of where
he's like, I'm the man and I'm going to show you.
Other guys are always taking an extra touch or 2, and he's just not even thinking about it.
Jack does that so many. I'm like, Jack, stop taking the extra touch. You'd have so many goals if you just not take 2 extra touches. What are you doing? Like that goal he made, the goal that Marmouche made against on Leicester, I was like, damn, what a goal. That was so pretty. I was like, but nobody else would take that. Maybe Rodri would if Rodri was playing. And there's rumors he could be back this season. I was like, I don't want it, but I'm not going to be upset if I see him on the team sheet.
I just don't want it to be
I'd rather him just wait till August, but I have no say.
Maybe he's back for the latter stages of the Club World Cup if we make it that far.
Well, some are whispering that he could play he could be on the bench for the FA Cup final. Him and Holland might be.
When was the injury? Was it October? Was that
September 21st, 2nd. I only remember because I came home from a trip that day.
Okay.
I was in Georgia, the country of Georgia.
Oh.
I got home at midnight or 1 a.m. and then 8 hours later was the Arsenal game. And I was so jet lagged. I was just like, I'm getting up for this. And so I was jet lagged. I was tired. And I knew the second Rodri went down, I was like, that's his ACL. I tried to deny it, but I was like, I've seen that too many times. And I was just like, I was like, God damn it, I should have just stayed on the airplane or something. Like I should have just stayed in Georgia. Like this is so bad. That was so devastating. Because I was like, there's our season.
Yeah, there's been quite a few ACLs, I feel like, this year and last year, more than usual. And I don't know if it's in hamstrings, if it's like an accumulation of games thing where it's just that's more likely now.
Games.
There is like even someone who wants to watch City, I would watch them every day if they were on every day, of course. But like I'm okay with only one game a week, or like occasionally there's a break for these guys. I don't need 12 months out of the year or 11 months out of the year, 2 games a week, where the product ends up suffering because the dudes are so tired and knackered they can't. It's like at the end of the Champions League, the last couple of years, it's been 1-0 because dudes are gassed.
Yeah, everyone's out of gas.
And it should be this, big spectacle of amazing football quality, and it's just like the games are kind of dead because the season's so long.
As much as I don't really care, I'm not a big MLS person, but like you have to respect the fact that they give their players like 2 to 3 months off every season. Even though I know MLS has its flaws, but American sports in general just give everybody like 3 months off. Like NFL, they get like 6 months off, but NFL is like a little, it's like
the comparison is like
baseball, they get like 6 months or 4 months off. NBA, also NBA has just recently instituted like a mandatory resting type. Like certain players have to rest. Like they can't. Like if you have too many back-to-backs, you have to rest, or if you have 4 games in 5 nights, that kind of stuff. Like they're starting to like force rotation. Like you've seen it with like the superstar on the team I follow, Steph Curry. Like he's had a lot of games where he's just like. Summer that we have off. Why? Next summer, World Cup. And then the summer after that is like Euros and Copa America and that kind of stuff. So I generally think this is like going to be a long-term issue. Like I think the quality of the players is going to just decline, and these careers are going to start ending early. Because also a lot of them are playing a lot of minutes at young ages. Like people like Saka, Jude Bellingham, like they've played a lot of minutes at very, very young ages while their bodies are developing. And you see it now, like Saka just blew his hamstring out. And I know everybody's like on gas because he came back and he scored a goal. I'm like, that's adrenaline. Like he might, I don't think he's fit, and I wouldn't expect a lot out of him the rest of the season. But some Arsenal fans are like, well, he's back, he's fit. I'm like, no, he's not. It's like when Chris Webber came back from his microfracture. He scored a triple-double. Everyone's like, he's back. And then the games afterwards, he was not good. Sorry, old NBA reference. That's what I was watching in the early 2000s, the NBA, because we didn't have a lot of a Premier League on in the country. Like it's only the last couple of years that the Premier League's like been really accessible to us. Like for years, it was just like the one game in one time slot. But it's only the past couple of years with Peacock that we can actually watch every single game now, and ESPN and all that stuff. But even 5 years ago, all these games weren't on.
Yeah, it's gotten a lot bigger in the States, that's for sure. I think with obviously, the New York City team, obviously that City bought, that was a big one, wasn't it? Obviously Beckham went into Miami, so there's been a lot more visibility around football.
Henry played for the Red Bulls. Beckham, Rooney came over, Gerrard came over, now Giroud's over here. Messi, the Messi thing's crazy. Everyone's like saying they're going to find a backdoor way to get De Bruyne on Inter Miami. Imagine Messi and De Bruyne on the same team. Woo!
Oh man, that
Woo.
would be amazing.
That'd be sick.
Yeah. We did have Kaká for Orlando, and I got to see him
Kaká, I
play
forgot about
multiple
that.
times, which was great.
You also had.
Wasn't Ronaldinho over here for like a season or two? Because that guy's probably still playing somewhere. He just doesn't know when to stop.
You also had Bradley Wright Phillips as well. It's Sean Wright Phillips' brother, who played for Red Bull as well. I think he was really good actually for Red Bull. I think it was Red Bull. I might be wrong, but I think it was.
Yeah, New York has two teams. They have the NYCFC and then the Red Bulls.
Yeah, I think it was Red Bull because this was years back now. He's got Bradley. I think sure his name was Bradley Wright Phillips. Yeah, he's a good player. But yeah, little link to City there as well. I mean, should we not be a little bit worried about Rasmus Højlund? No fear there.
I have zero fear.
This is gonna come back.
Yeah, I don't really rate that guy. But it's a derby, so you just never know. Good. Bournemouth drop points. That's good.
I think Marmoush has more goals than him already, and Marmoush has played what?
Actually, Bournemouth's in 10th. Never mind.
A third of the games is him. So.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I think he's leaving in the summer anyway. I think there's rumors of Napoli. I believe I've seen.
Yeah, I mean, he's just not done it there, has he? He's just not done what he needed to do. He did not have the impact. Obviously, Rashford looks like he's doing well. I'm glad Rashford isn't playing tomorrow because even though he's been pretty washed this season, he's one of those players that I've seen him. He can spin a player, and he's got a quick turn of pace. And he's just one of those players that when he starts running at you, especially with the form that we've had, especially with the defence, he can unlock a defence. So I'm happy he's not playing tomorrow. He's at Villa. I think they're pretty. I mean, this United team has to be this United team has to be the worst United team we've played since.
Long time.
Maybe ever.
Probably before Ryan and I were watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a long time. I'm
the
just
worst
trying
one
to
I
think
can
of
think
some of the older derbies.
I mean, this
Probably
is
back in like the 80s when both teams were bad.
At least of the Premier League era. This might be their worst finish, I think, if it ended today, right? 13th, 14th or so.
Yeah, I mean, the last few squads that Alex Ferguson had, they weren't great. But obviously, he was a great manager. I mean, they were pretty poor, but again, they still had a lot of champions in there, a lot of big game players. Obviously, they had Van Persie in there, which is what won them the league. I think this is probably the worst United team. I mean, it's the worst United team of my life. I don't think there's been a worse team than this because, United were always an attacking team, always score lots of goals, and I just don't know where they're getting them from at the minute outside of Bruno. So. But you know what? It's a derby. Anything could happen. Højlund could get a hat-trick tomorrow. Probably will now that I've said that.
God. If we allow that, we don't deserve Champions League.
No, I agree.
So, yeah, hopefully Onana, yeah, that guy's not, I don't rate Onana, so not on United. He's been a clown show, so hopefully he'll have a couple of those.
He's got a worldly save in him,
bozo
but he's got a howler in him too. It's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Onana as well. Again, I've just personally never rated Onana. I don't know how you guys feel, but
he was good. He was really good on Inter, but Inter probably, it's like Ederson. Like he just never. Inter had such a good defense that he didn't have a lot to do.
It's weird. Players are always better before they join United. You always look back and think, wow, they weren't actually that bad. I don't know what happened to them.
And then once they leave, they're just like, look at McTominay. He's like killing it for Napoli.
Yeah, exactly.
And then Rashford, yeah. I am glad Rashford's not there because that guy's had a lot of derby moments. So the fact that he's not there is good.
I still get
one less person to worry about.
I remember.
But we do have to worry about the ref.
Yeah,
we always have to worry about the ref at Old Trafford because we've been burned by that a bunch of times.
I still remember when he spanned Michaelis. I still have nightmares about that. He absolutely. It was an awful game that. I remember the one against us as well. Was it the? The one he scored at Wembley, when it just dropped to him and he absolutely pinged it into the top bins. Sure, it was like the first. When was that? What game was that?
That was
that
the
the Community
Foden
Shield
game.
or was it the?
No, that was it the FA Cup semifinal? No, that's not right. It's one of the best goals I've ever seen, for sure.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was incredible. To be fair, it was a really good goal. That.
But then Foden scored 2.
Yeah.
In the second half, and
Yes.
Haaland scored the third. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was that game. I think you've got it there.
But that wasn't the FA Cup final. That must have been.
No.
That must have been just a
while
Premier
ago.
League game at the Etihad or something, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like trying to think. It's like if it's at Wembley, I'm like, what was that?
I think it was
I don't
2
remember.
years.
No, because he didn't do anything. The first in the Derby one, I don't think he really did anything. Did he? Who scored that? No, that was a penalty that Bruno equalized on. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Yeah, must have been like a Community Shield or something.
Maybe.
I just don't remember them winning the FA Cup outside of the last season.
Yeah.
And, since Rashford's been there, because he's been there forever.
There's so many Rashford moments too. Like I think about
he turns up in a derby.
The offside, non-offside goal.
Oh God.
Okay, I am a tech wizard. I'm a tech god.
There we go.
I've done it. That's what I've been doing this whole time. Okay, so let's start with the formation. So we've played probably a 4-2-3-1 for most of the season. That's the one that we've predominantly played in. So let's see how that looks as a 4-2-3-1. It'll take me half an hour to find it now, won't it? There we go. 4-2-3-1. Perfect. Oh, honestly. Okay. Lineup builder is good. This is the one I always use. But I mean, the goalkeeper, it's going to be Edison, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get Edison. Let's get Eddie in for sure. Yes.
I know.
Yeah. Okay, so. So let's. Left.
Yeah.
Let's start. Well, we've got Eddie in. So let's move to left back. What are we saying for left back here? Are we putting Nico in? Okay.
I'm putting.
Okay. Well, listen. This is our lineup. So don't worry. We'll get him in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. So next to Nico, who are we thinking? Yoshko, keep Gvardiol there. Yeah, absolutely. And then I think this one picks itself, but we'll go with obviously Ruben. And this is the contentious one, isn't it? Now, who starts at right? Who starts at right back?
Who's
Okay. We'll go with Kushinov. I just can't see it being him. Honestly, if I had to put money on it, yeah, yeah. If I had to put money, I mean, just don't be surprised if you see Rico starting at right back tomorrow. Honestly, yeah. Okay. So we've got our two midfield here. So we've got right mid and a left mid here. So for the right mid, who are we thinking? Nico.
Nico.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah. So we've got Nico in there. Just really weird. I don't know if you've seen the resemblance, but ever since someone said he looks like Ruben Diaz, I can't not see it now. Do you know what?
Oh, there's.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, it's,
I might have retweeted it or something. Let me see. I'm trying to remember. It'll take me a while to sort through all my Kevin stuff. When something big happens, I just spam it. I'm actually not.
yeah. So we've got Nico. Are we? Who's coming in next to Nico then? Because obviously Kev's gonna play right behind the striker. You know that's where Kev's gonna play here. But so who's going next to Nico? We put in. We've got Phil. We've got Bernardo to think about. Obviously, I mean Gundogan won't. Gundogan won't play tomorrow. He won't start tomorrow. I would like to see Foden in the team. That would be my pick. Yeah,
And that.
I'm happy to go with the group consensus here. So if you're both saying Grealish, we'll put Jack in. But if he has a stinker tomorrow,
Ah,
yeah, just remember I wanted Phil in, but we'll go. Do you know what? Fair play to Jack. He had a really good game actually. So yeah, on form, we'll put Jack in. We'll put Jack in there. So right wing, who are we saying?
well,
But would you play Bernardo though on that wing? Yeah. I I would I would play Savio here. That would be my pick. I'd have Savio.
I would too.
Oh, you'd have Bob. That's a great. Yeah, Oscar Bob. Do you know what? If Oscar Bob is fit, I would have Bob. Right, right. We are gonna put this out into the universe. Right.
I think.
We're putting it out into the universe. Yeah. In that cam roll, it's got to be Kev, right? It's got to be Kev. And then obviously we got to have. I mean, what we say, it's got to be Doku. Has to be.
I would hope.
Yeah. I know, right? This is crazy. And then the main. Would I have Savini over Doku? I wouldn't personally know. I wouldn't, because for all the criticism Doherty gets about his finishing, he does. For me, he's more of a threat than. He's got more of a goal touch than Savio has at the minute. Like, I see a lot of great runs from Savio. Yeah. Yeah. So what are we saying? Are we happy with the lineup there? Is this the team that we'd go with? Yeah. I mean, I like it so much that I know we're not going to see this tomorrow, 100%. Bernardo, like Kel said, Bernardo will be in this team. No, but Bernardo will be in this team. He will, if Bernardo's fit, he plays.
Yeah, Jack.
Yeah. And honestly, don't be surprised if Rico's in the squad. Honestly, do not be surprised if Rico's back at right back.
I'm not. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Knowing Pep as well, knowing what Pep's like, he'll bench Grealish, Foden won't play, and he'll play Kovacic and Nico in the midfield, and we'll have absolutely no creativity going forward outside of De Bruyne. But
Nico is.
Yeah.
He's got that.
Yeah, but you know, I think he still needs that creative player next to him. I like this team. I think it's a really, really strong team. This is the team that's going to play tomorrow, 100%. I'm locking it in.
Yes. But I was just like, ooh, I didn't know you had that. It's like, ooh, Roger Regent. He can foster it. He can get better. He's still young.
Yeah, agreed. Okay,
yeah,
that is the lineup that we've got locked in. So let's talk. We're slowly, naturally coming to the end here now. Macca's got. Let's have a look. Sam McDonald, Macca. I like how Gvardiol was already in there. Yeah, I mean he's one of the he's one of the for sures, right? He's one of the absolute certainties in this squad. Gvardiol. He's one of the first names on the sheet, isn't it? At the end of the day, him and probably. I say him, Eddie,
Marmouche.
Eddie and Marmouche.
And Marmouche, yeah.
I really hope Nico gets game time tomorrow. I really hope he starts him, and he trusts him at left back, because again, you know, he's changed multiple games now.
It helps the build up so much too. Like, and also Joshko being next to Diaz has helped the build up too.
Yeah. I do wonder, at what point does O'Reilly get a run in the midfield? I know it's not tomorrow, but
I think we need to lose some like 4 or 5 bodies in that midfield before him or even Echeverri get a shot. Like, we just have to get rid of some of these players. Like Bernardo, Calva are just taking up places that I think we all agree we'd rather see younger players get those minutes to try to see because we need to see what they have, and we can't because they're not playing in that position because somebody else is there. People who we both know are not going to be here long term.
Yeah.
Even Kev too. Like, that'll empty some spaces out too. And Jack. Although Jack has been quality. Jack has probably shown more in midfield in the past like 2 games than Bernardo has all season.
I
think you'll know Pep's intentions with Jack if he plays tomorrow. I think if he doesn't start tomorrow, I think it's quite a big indicator of where he is in the squad, really, because at the moment he's only trusting him in those, you know, in the cup games, really. At the moment he's not getting really any minutes in the Prem, so it will be telling tomorrow. If he comes on as a sub late on, it's not a good sign for his career anyway. So I hope he does start. To be fair, I hope he does start, because he's one of the players that I rip on him a lot, and I give him probably more grief than I should. But it's just the standards are so high here, and you can't have passengers. And unfortunately, he has been a passenger for all of this season. He's just he's just not brought enough to the team, unfortunately.
He just never got going because I think his head was gone because, he just had a baby. So that probably took a lot out of him. And then he had a bunch of injuries too. Because he had such a good preseason and then he just immediately got injured. And I just think he never regained that momentum. Because I think he was going to start the season and I think he was going to be a big part of the start of the season. And might have forced Pep to bench him for some,
The thing is,
I think he had played his way into the team. He looked so good in that preseason and then injured and never regained it.
Running out of time now. That's the problem that he's got because if he's not cemented, if he's not give Pep something to question by the end of the season, more players are going to come in. Okay, the De Bruyne's replacement's going to come in. One or two midfielders may come in. I just don't. He's just going to. He'll struggle. If Foden picks up form, and we know at some point that probably will happen, there's no way Jack can get in that midfield. So he needs to start playing now and performing now if he wants to save his career at City, I think. Because, there's not been enough to... He's not got the credit that Foden has. That's his problem. He's not got that history at the club, the big performances to the degree that Phil has. So he doesn't really have that credit to run on, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I agree.
And we know that Phil's going to be the face of this team.
Yeah. Well, Phil should be. I mean, if Phil had a great season, none of us would be too particularly worried about Kev, because obviously he was that kind of natural. He was always touted as to be that natural replacement, but it's obviously not going that way anyway. Let's talk about the predicted scores. This is the big one now. So few of you are confident. I feel confident now. I may change my mind. Raj, I'll come to you. Raj, I'll come to you. What's your score prediction for tomorrow's game, mate?
Score prediction. I do have us winning. I don't see a clean sheet. Clean sheets, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go.
We got one Wednesday.
Hey, we did get one Wednesday. 2 in a row, though. That's asking a lot. Yeah. I would think 2-1, maybe.
2-1.
I like a 2-1. City score probably early. Go 2-0 up, maybe start the second half, and they get one late. Make it interesting.
Yeah. Okay, so what are you saying? 2-1?
2-1. Let's go 2-1.
In at 2-1. Okay, who scores?
Marmouche scores, and if Bob plays, Bob scores.
Oh, I love that. Okay. Kels?
I'm still nervous, so my original prediction was a draw, so I'm going to stick with a 2-2 draw. We'll probably give them a really stupid goal, off of some mistake to some bum, like Maguire or something, or Dello. And then I think Bruno will do something. I think he'll score a goal. I don't know if it'll be a pen or if it'll be just a goal or set piece or something, but I feel like Bruno's going to nail us tomorrow.
Yeah.
Could see a free kick, Bruno free kick goal.
Yeah, something like that. Free kick or a corner, set piece, something like that.
I've got a penalty in my mind. Honestly, I can just see.
Probably some bogus pen too.
Yeah, I can see someone doing something daft or something stupid or a bad call, and he doesn't tend to miss, does he?
Yeah, if Nunez plays,
and he doesn't save pens either.
Yeah, that's what I can see. If we have Nunez, in that right back position, he ends up cropping someone.
Again, like he did in the last game.
Yeah.
Never forgive him for that.
Yeah.
Ever. I can't.
I'm gonna say 2-1. I think it's gonna be scrappy. I think 2-1 sounds fair. 2-1 sounds fair because I just can't see us keeping a clean sheet. I can see Bruno scoring, and it'll hurt me. I'd take anyone scoring over Bruno, but I fucking hate that guy.
Watch Hoyland dunks on us. It'd be like, oh god, embarrassing.
Oh, shit, yeah, hat trick.
Or Garnacho. Garnacho is one to be aware of for me also, because even though he's a scrub, he has turned up against us in the past.
Jack likes a Derby Day goal. I think Jack scored a couple against United in previous derbies, so I think Jack will score. And I think if Oscar, I can't see Oscar starting, but I think Oscar will come off the bench from a Kev assist and he'll slot past Onana, and I think we'll win 2-1. I'm putting it out there.
Love it.
I'm putting it out there.
I've seen that score a lot. I guess I'm the negative Nancy, but I just get nervous. It's a derby. If we had more consistency, I would definitely pick a win, but we just haven't had consistency this season. And especially with the players that we all in our hearts know that Pep will play. Yeah. They just haven't shown up in a lot of the big games. So
if you have low expectations, you're more likely to be a lot happier, aren't you? Because, at the end of the day, if we end up losing or drawing, it's like, well, I said we would, but if we win, it's like, nice. I'm the winner there. So I get what you're saying. I'm just trying to put it out there into the universe, trying to get it out there 2-1. I feel like that's what.
I was gonna say 3-1. Hey, start manifesting a 3-1.
4-1. 6-1.
What if we did another 6-1?
Yeah, let's do 6-1. Yeah.
It's only 6-1. It's only 6-1.
Here we go. Another comment here. Hard to call because neither team are playing great. I'm going for 1-0 Marmouche. Yeah, I mean, how have none of us?
Yeah, I like it. Yeah. I appreciate everyone else's positivity, and I'm sorry I'm not as positive.
Well, I know Sam personally. We sit next to each other at the games, so I don't know I'm not sure if he's there tomorrow, but if you are, I'm hoping the atmosphere should be quality tomorrow.
Are you going?
Do you know what? I've just remembered it's not even at home, is it? It's away. No, I couldn't get a ticket. I was gutted.
Oh.
I was gutted.
We probably could have got a ticket. Easy.
Yeah.
Just go on Viagogo. You should be able to find one, right?
Well, I was saying to Rai a few weeks ago, like you guys are there. You guys are City's like target demographic now.
They want us.
Yeah, they want you.
I know. I'm gonna try to go next season.
Well, listen, if
I need to go back,
season, and we'll get everyone. We'll get all the other guys. We'll get
all the
Luke out.
boys.
We'll organize Patrick to come over. Get everybody out. That'd be amazing.
Be great.
That would be awesome. Well, listen.
Let's tell Gundelorian. He could maybe he'd get us a hookup. Probably not. They don't give him hookups anymore, apparently. I was talking to him about Club World Cup, and he's like, "Well, this is the package you could buy." And I was like, I'm not paying $600 for a group stage Club World Cup game. Yeah. I mean, granted, it was like VIP, but I was like, no.
No, don't do it.
I might be going. There's a game in Orlando, so.
Oh, you should, yeah.
Tickets are.
It's just really hard for me to get there because there's like no direct flight. I think there's one direct flight to Atlanta, but I don't know I don't really want to go to Atlanta by myself. I was going to go to the Philadelphia game, but actually all the group stage games are like going on like during a time when I'm really busy. Like my best friend's going to be in town. My cousin is graduating from the military. Like he's having his ceremony on the 20th of June. He's been in for like 20 years. So it'll be a big retirement. And then something else is going on. I'm just like, I don't know if I can get the time. And I'm very limited on my vacation days because I've taken a lot of vacation already. And I still have a trip in November. So I'm just like, I don't think I can make Club World Cup happen. But if I have a few spare days, I might do a crazy trip to Manchester. Because from the West Coast of America, it's a very long trip. It's like a 12-hour flight.
Yeah.
Like, and that's if you can get like from San Francisco. I mean, I don't live in San Francisco anymore, but like from San Francisco to London is like 12 hours direct. So doing that for a short period of time, which I have done before, is crazy, and I'm considering doing it again. I got to do it before I get too old, because then at some point it's gonna hurt too much.
It's worth it for the Blues.
Yeah. Have you been to the Etihad, Brian? Not yet.
No, not been to England yet. I have done the flight. I've gone from Orlando to New York to London for a family trip we had, like, I don't know, 10 years ago, but not stayed in England. We went to Switzerland.
Oh, nice. Beautiful country.
Very cool. Very nice.
You've all got big reasons to come, haven't you? Watching the Blues.
Oh, I would die to get to the Etihad. Bring my wife.
Do it. We'll do the American trip. Get you, Snobby Boys. We'll get Vader, even though he's in Canada. We'll get who else is out here that we could bring? We'll get the boys from the Shades of Blue, the Kronk and Tarek and all them. let's have like a big American road trip. I know there's a couple. There's some guy on LB stream who's in LA. I forget his name, but he lives in LA.
Get everyone out from the States.
Yeah, all of them.
Let's have the Great American Road Trip to Manchester.
Well, listen, guys, we'll wrap it up there. Thank you both very, very much for coming on. I do appreciate it. Well, it's really, I don't know what it's like for you guys. It's quite nice here in Manchester, at least for once. I know it's early doors there for you both. Do subscribe. Rye, you've got a YouTube channel. What is the name of the channel, mate?
It's just my name. It's Ryjack97, 2 Ks, because someone stole my username before I made it. So.
I think 100 subs. Am I right in saying that now? You reached.
I'm at like 115 now, maybe.
115.
Hey,
I know.
Love that.
Magic number.
Yeah.
115.
115. Awesome.
I'll have to. I don't know if I have you. I'll add you. I'll add you.
We should hopefully this video will get a lot more views later on. I always choose to stream at the worst time, so it's a Saturday here. It's 5:30, so all the football's being played, so a lot of people will be watching the football. But for the guys that are on now, and the guys that watch this later, or the girls, please do subscribe to Ryjack's channel. I know he's got some good content on there, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot on there in future. Ryjack, if you ever want me on, mate, happy to come on and support the channel any way that I can. It's difficult because of the time zones and all that, but like today, we'll always make it work.
Absolutely. Thank you. I appreciate you having me on. This was my first time doing this, so I've been soloing it on YouTube for now, but I'm happy to be on all the streams as long as I can make it work. Saturdays and Sundays are probably the best for me.
Awesome. Well, we'll always love to have you on, mate. Kels, I don't think do you have a solo YouTube channel, Kels, or do you just tend to jump on? No,
I just jump on channels. You can find me mouthing off on Twitter quite a bit. I'm not very ladylike on there, so not for the faint of heart.
Well, the Kel's X name is on there on the screen as well, so follow her on X.
Kelkstro for it, yeah.
I do have another video going out at starting 8 o'clock tonight. It'll be myself, and it will be me and 3 other United fans. I might try and get another blue on just to back me up a little bit. So I'm doing a bit of we're going to have a little bit of a debate around some previous derbies, current squad, and predictions as well. So do make sure you jump on at 8 o'clock. Watch us, support me on there because I'll definitely need it. But thank you all very much. Hope you all have a good weekend, and I'll see you on the next one.
Up the Blues.